Hello, everyone. So, we are so excited to launch Designing for Excellence 2021 today in its brand new virtual hands on design workshop format. We love the four instructor in person format that Designing for Excellence was known for many years. But this new look will provide an equally immersive floristry training experience. You'll be able to see all the details and ask questions for intimate learning right from your home. The hands-on portion of the workshop will kickstart with a 1-hour mentoring lesson from each instructor with full instruction on the whys and hows. Your work will then be reviewed by both instructors in an engaging virtual review session. I think that's really cool. All parts of the program will be recorded in full for students to watch as many times as they would like. That's a real extra perk, I think. You have complete access to all the content whenever you need it. This 4-part program will grow you creatively, technically, and skillfully. So with that being said, I would like to welcome our team of instructors for the Designing for Excellence virtual workshop series. We have Francoise Weeks.
Hello.
Anya Norwood, AIFD EMC.
Hello.
Brenna Kwan, AIFD.
Hi.
And Sue Tabal Yamaguchi, AIFD EMC. Yay, what a team we have. It's so cool. I'm just loving this. So I thought that we would just go over each one of the class. We have 4 different categories, so we would go over it. And so we'll be looking at, Francoise and I will be teaching the flowers to wear. And let's say the floral couture. Because that's why we have Francoise here, so that she can show us the fineness of this artistry.
Hi, everybody. Yes, we will explore a whole variety of couture. Here is a picture of a fascinator. We will look at a variety of techniques and mechanics to make smaller or larger fascinators. And besides that, we will also go over different techniques on how to make necklaces, cuffs, earrings. We also will explore and talk quite a bit about how to use humidifying chambers so that you can use a much larger selection of flowers and make your jewelry or whatever you are intending to making several days the event actually. So that is a technique that I learned from Gregor Lorsch 3 years ago, and it really was a game changer for me.
Yeah, it's really
allowing
cool.
to work ahead of time. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be
that was huge.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool because between Francoise and I, we'll just be able to cover a very diverse range of topics to do with anything to do with flowers to wear. So, I'll be showing like boutonnieres and corsages and different kind of wearables that, and really get deep into some of the mechanics and techniques as well. So I'm really excited to be team teaching with you, Francoise, because I think that's going to be really a lot of fun. So that's going to be that's going to be the first March 21 to 28 session. It's going to be sort of split up into our 2-hour presentation where we're side by side simultaneously, kind of like this, so that you could be watching both of us busy and you could be asking questions. It's going to be really, really cool. And then it's going to be followed up by the 1-hour session with Francoise, the tutoring session, the mentoring, as well as 1 hour with me so that you get all the meaty information so that they can prepare for their hands-on. That's going to be fun, isn't it, Francoise?
Yes, it's going to be fabulous. So excited to be here.
And I think it's going to really truly capture what it was really like to be in person in a classroom, except for with this, because we're really looking at each individual. We get to see up close and personal each one of their designs so that we can kind of evaluate it and give some commentary. So that is done on the final day of our session. That is going to have like a 1 hour plus of student review, and we get to see all their works and celebrate what they get done. I think that's going to be fun.
Cool. Yeah.
I can't wait. So thank you, Francois, for giving us a little heads up on what you'll be sharing with us. So next up, we're going to go to Anya Norwood. And for that, which is going to be the April 18th to 25 session, it's going to be a fresh look at bridal bouquet. We're saying fresh because there's so many new, fresh ideas, isn't there? Uh, and we're going to be looking at curvilinear, formalinear, and European styling. And guess what? I got Anya because she's a European. I mean, there's nothing like getting taught by an Asian how to make a European. We want a real authentic European. So tell us a little bit what you're going to be sharing with us, Anya.
Oh, absolutely. First of all, I wanted to say I'm super excited to be part of this fantastic program. I think there is so many interesting parts, but my part will be covering the European design, and we definitely will focus on the more decorative part of the design, which is kind of what represents a European style. So here's the picture of one of the designs I did a while ago, and it shows like using different materials and some quite common, but maybe not in a very common way. So here we have a zip ties, and even we use very minimal amount of flowers in European designs. Very often we use them really carefully, so it actually embellish the design. So we'll be definitely going and looking into it and checking how that works, what kind of flowers, and also how to select them for their longevity and that very purpose. So yeah, I'm very excited.
Yeah, that's going to be really cool because I think that you have a lot of cool mechanics and techniques under your sleeve because we worked together before in the former format, the in person, and oh my God, the students just loved all your cool ideas. So that in combination with my just sort of pure techniques and mechanics and shaping, I think we're going to have a very nice, complete curvilinear, formalinear, and European styling. I think it's going to be really cool.
Yeah,
I'm really excited.
I agree. I think the techniques and mechanics are so important, and there are so many of them, and uh, the creativity just sparks when you start playing with them. So hopefully there will be lots of inspirations for you to explore and experiment in all the workshops.
Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to it. And the other thing is, even though we're really covering bridal work, so many of these mechanics and techniques applies to other kinds of design. So I think you're gonna walk away with some real rich sort of library of some really great ideas.
And also, I think this type of the design is so cool because you can actually create this unique structure to represent the person or your individuality and personality. All the customers you're creating it for, as well, they can keep it for as a keepsake, and and create their memories later on by maybe application of some flowers to it as well. So there is lots of possibilities with this type of design and inspiration and the materials around it. I think
Yeah.
that's what I'm excited about too,
Yeah,
to
no, I'm
share.
really excited for this. So that's going to be April 18th to 25. The session sort of runs in that period of time. So thank you, Anya. Like, it's going to be so cool.
Thank
Okay, so
you.
next I'm going to introduce you to, and we'll talk to Brenna Kwan because that's going to be the May 30th to June 6th session. And it's going to be a fresh look at Sympathy design for celebration of life. Don't you love that? Don't you love that better, celebration of life instead of funeral?
Yes. Yes, definitely. It's just got more light to it. And,
Yeah, yeah.
we design with beautiful flowers. And so that's what we do. We create beautiful things. And to have it be a special tribute to somebody's life
Yes.
is just so much more meaningful.
Yeah, and we want to remember, the deceased, the wonderful person they are with great memories, including great
Mhm.
memories of the beautiful spread of flowers that were there to celebrate them. And, when I look at kind of the standard funeral that you go to, it's kind of like these badges of honor. It's like these
Mhm.
same shapes over and over with different combination of flowers. And it's that old established tradition that just doesn't bespeak the person. and we just need to change it up. And so, that's why I chose Brenna, because she and I have had many conversations. We have worked together, and I think we're gonna really spice up this workshop, I think.
Yeah, I'm really glad you asked me to dive into Sympathy, because I think it's evolving so much more now. There's something to be said about tradition. I mean, I've done all the traditional methods, the mechanics of wreaths and sprays and such. And I think there's just so much more to it now. And, a wreath is forever going to be a symbol, I think, for tributes.
Yes.
And why not update that a little bit?
Yeah.
Not to mention just evolved methods of, some that are a little more sustainable. I mean, everything is evolving in the world of floristry. And so why not elevate that in Sympathy as well?
Right. And I love what you
Um,
did with your example of the wreath, because even the way it's set up, the easel itself, handmade, and then with a
mhm.
background, it just gives it that artistry, that there's artistry
Yes.
involved in it. So good.
Right. Yeah. I want to I wanted to gear it more to it, just having some meaning, with a select flowers that you use, to the colors. And I think, we are storytellers. And
Right.
so this in itself is telling a more interesting story, I think, than just a plain carnation wreath.
Yeah.
There's traditional funeral flowers, and I think that there's a way to also just think about it in a different way. I mean, flowers, we do so much deconstructing and all these different things with flowers now. So it's time to incorporate it into
It's
tribute.
actually time to evolve sympathy work. I
Yeah,
think we just
absolutely.
need to
100%.
like my biggest thing is, let's make them beautiful. That it
Yeah.
makes you melt in your feet, because it's just so
Hmm.
gorgeous, and it
Yes.
bespoke them as a living person. And so
Hmm.
I'm really loving this workshop. I'm loving that I'm going
Yeah,
to be
me too.
working with you, and we're going to share this and team teach this together. It's going to be fun. So
Yay.
thank
Thank
you,
you for having
Brenna.
me.
Yeah. Okay, so then the last category in the last workshop in our series is with Sutaba Yamaguchi from Hawaii. She's from Honolulu. And the topic is Tropical Nouveau Bouquet. Traveling through flowers is kind of its sort of tagline, because I think, the combination of using Hawaiian tropicals with temperate flowers is mixing two types of flowers that before people hesitated to do, because they seem different. But today, don't we think that they need to get married to each other? Sue?
I think so too. Aloha, everyone. And I am very pleased that I am part of this amazing program. And yeah, I think it'll be interesting. And the combinations of flowers, it's like meeting the East and the West together. And you can see the bouquet there. It has different combinations as well. And yeah, I look forward to sharing some techniques on bouquet making and maybe some leaf manipulation and things like that.
Oh, I know you're so good at all that stuff. I mean, all that kind of lay making background that gives you ability to and have ideas for different ways of showcasing little blossoms and leaves, and twisting and contorting, and all of those skills that you have. Having been from Hawaii and been doing this for a long time, in that bouquet that we showed, just it. I just love the combination. It's one of my favorite bouquets that you created there, Sue. With the alocasia. I mean, the alocasia is so dramatic, and then the beautiful anthurium, all of that. I mean, that was so stunning. Can we bring that up again, Colin? Because I just love it so much. I want to talk about it some more. Look at that. Look at that. And that's peony. Like, it used to be that you couldn't possibly,
Hmm.
not possibly use peony next to an anthurium.
Right. But when you look at the composition there, it's so dramatic. The alocasia makes a dramatic, it's like a focal point. But then you have all the other flowers there that kind of soften it up. And that's basically like you have the combination of the East and the West mixing together. You have a little bit of this and you have a little bit of that. But yeah, it's definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah, because I really think Tropical Nouveau is about just intrigue. It's kind of like, oh my God, what is that? And what I would have
Right.
never thought to put that together. It's kind of like putting together on the palette things that you didn't think belonged, but oh my God, when you do it, it's like a wow. Like we're gonna do a wow workshop, Sue. I know it. It's gonna be
I
so
think so
cool.
too. It's gonna be so much fun, and especially like incorporating the lathes and different techniques on how to, and probably showing you different ways of making lathes and things that you've never thought that you could have
Right.
used to make a lathe, to incorporate it into your bouquet, and that's what makes it fun and fascinating.
Yeah, and I'm really thrilled that you're doing this with me because see, we have an expert now that we could ask about Hawaiian tropicals. I mean, I have some knowledge, but there's still things that I don't know, and I love how you speak the Hawaiian language, the different Hawaiian words for things too. So it'll have a little bit of like babble in there, little talking language, talking Hawaiian a little bit. So I think you're gonna just really enjoy it. Yeah. So thank you, Sue. I
It'll
think
be
it's going to
fun.
be a fantastic
Thank
workshop.
you.
So, I hope you're excited about all this because look at where we're taking you to all the different categories with the expert at hand. I mean, I'm the lucky one because I get to work with each one of these people. And so, really excited about this educational series. You're going to be able to take the whole series because it's all engaging, or if you want to sort of take a look at one and then the other, you're free to do in whatever way that you'd like to enroll. Like registration is open today at designingforexcellence.com. So hope that you can join us. I think you'll really, really enjoy it and you will learn a lot. I really think it's about for us exactly that, designing for excellence. I think we all want that for ourselves. I mean, I never, ever lose that desire to design for excellence because I always say, there is a certain thing as nirvana in our profession, that sense of perfection, and we're always working toward it. That's why it's reaching out for designing for excellence. That's what we're doing. And we're hoping that the series will help you just step up your game and create some things after you're done with this, things that you didn't think that was possible for yourself. And I know that is possible with help of all these wonderful co-teachers here, right here with us today. So I'm thinking, do you think we should do Q&A? I think so, right? So let's see if we have any questions out there.
If anybody has questions at all, please ask them. I'll start with, it's not a question, but we have a former Design for Excellence instructor that says, missing my friends.
Oh my God,
Hasty.
Scott! We're sure missing you, Scott. Yeah,
Yes.
like that was actually Anya, Scott, Brenna, and I at the City College of San Francisco in 2019. That was the last year. Obviously, we had was planning to schedule for 2020, but we couldn't. Yeah, we miss you, Scott. So thank you for joining us, just to be with us again. Yeah.
Joanne McNabb is asking, what's the date for the tropical bouquets again?
Okay, the date for the tropical bouquets, that one is going to be actually on June 20th. It's a Sunday. It runs for 2 hours, like a demo presentation with Sue and I. And then in the week following, there'll be one session, 1 hour long, plus a mentoring session with Sue, so that she'll be teaching you some of her techniques. And then it'll be followed by my particular mentoring session for an hour the following day. And then by the end of the week, you would have produced it and you will be sharing it with us, through Zoom, I guess it would be, right, Kohan?
The review session?
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah, that'll be by Zoom, so we can see all of the students that day and see their work. And both Sue and I will be able to comment and give you advice, give you some critique, both constructive and corrective, so that you'll kind of get a really good feedback as to how you did and how you can improve. So that's going to be fun. Yeah, that's June 20th to 27th is the window of time there.
Great.
Good.
I want to go
So-
to Hawaii too.
I know we all
Come,
want to go to
everyone
Hawaii.
It's snowing
know-
today.
Yeah, it's starting to here too, and I'm really missing Hawaii. And we're all missing actually working with each other in person. And I know that there were some comments actually on the when we put the post out there about people that are saying, "Oh, it's never the same. Not to be able to do it in person. It just can't be the same." But I swear to you, with several that I've done in the last couple of months, this format actually is even more intense in that we get to see much more close up the student work. Everybody get to see it as, right in front of you. Because remember when we were in the classroom before, if you're in the back of the class, you never got to see any close up of anything. Or if you happen to be in the corner, you might get left behind through the critiquing process if you're a quiet, shy person. That doesn't happen here. It's very inclusive. And I think it becomes even a stronger community, even though we're conversing virtually. So this is what I've seen in the last few virtual workshops that I've done, that it's far more experiential in a very positive way. So that's why we're really excited about it and to be able to do it in this way. Are there any other questions out there?
I think that's it.
That's
we
it?
just have some comments. People from Australia, Trinidad and Tobago, all over the place. So
Wow.
that's the other good thing
That's
about
the
this.
other thing. We can be joined by people from all over the world. I mean, that's just awesome. And I want to point out to those people out there that if the timing makes it difficult for you to join us for any of it, it is all pre-taped, and you will not miss not one thing. And if you miss actually having conversation with us, any one of us, and I hope you will all concur that this be true, and that you want to have that actual conversation, we can arrange for that. So don't ever feel left out if you're in what might seem like a wrong time zone, because there's no such thing with virtual training. Yeah. So what do you guys think? Did you have any input as to what this can potentially be, or any kind of a real plus that you can point out that you can see already? I know Francois done a whole bunch of virtual things. And how do you find it? Do you find it like that it really does work?
It does work. It is different than being there in person. But one of the things that is so cool is what you just mentioned, that people from anywhere can attend. And then when we start talking about different type of botanicals that are being used, that they can use. I had somebody participate in a workshop. She was from Peru, and she was talking about botanicals that she could use there. It's really pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's really
it
fabulous.
is like traveling through flowers. We literally can travel to different places and see things the way they do it, which is culturally really good for us, I think. So any comments by any one of you other guys about this?
As a student of one of the virtual ones that you did, the wood talks, I found it just so I feel like you do get a little bit more with the engagement, because it's not just a demonstration where you're just showing this and that, and it just seems very. I mean, I had you on my big screen in my living room, so
Ooh, scary.
that would have to be the next best thing. I mean, we all have to deal with the situation these days, and. It still felt intimate, and I still felt that I could engage and ask questions and get them all asked. And I don't think you guys missed anybody. Everybody got a say, and you learned so much more besides from other students. That's what I loved too.
Oh, that's what I love too. There's a lot of learning from each other. And of course, that's the reason why I do these workshop team teaching with other designers, other instructors, because that is so enriching. Not one person can possibly have everything that you need to know. You always learn from others. And I think as an example of us teaching together and seeing that happen for them, make them realize that this is the way to learn, the best way to learn. More the better. Yeah.
And also, I wanted to add that it's actually so beneficial when you actually can rewind your, session.
Yes.
So you focus the part which is very crucial for you, or maybe you don't fully got at that time. I want to go more deeper. So the fact that you can over and over is just
Yeah.
great. And also with the different aspects what you just said, having several educators, you learn so much. And sometimes there is so many things like, oh, this is a good idea, because we learn as well from one another. And with the vast people from around the world is just beneficial to everyone, and sharing and learning experience. So I
Yeah.
love that with the
It's
with,
really
so-
exciting. And I just want to preface, just to kind of wrap this up a little bit, is that,
Actually, before you wrap it up, I'll
Okay.
just Rebecca Raymond
Oh.
reiterated that
Oh.
she loves that you can go back and rewatch so that you can really get a handle on the projects.
thank you, Rebecca. So good to see you. That's absolutely one of the best part. But I just want to point out that in this whole schedule, there's the 4 classes, but it's actually prefaced by a orientation session that I am going to hold, and that's going to be a really an overview, a review of elements and principles of design, because we will all be teaching using a lot of that verbiage, so that the communicating why you do something and how you do is taught in a way that is very educational, highly educational, because I think it's all part of it. And how we evaluate, we'll use all those words, so that if some of you are not really familiar with elements and principles of design, I would really highly recommend that you participate, you watch that session. In fact, that's going to be offered free to anyone, whether you enroll or not, because I think it's something that we want to do to make sure that more people start to learn from that direction. So that actually is on March 17th. It's a Wednesday. It's towards the end of the day. So I think, with that preface, you'll be so happy to move into one class into the other and learning all the different aspects, so that you become a little bit more of a complete designer. I think if you're a wedding designer, and you've never done Sympathy, I mean, this is a great way to segue from what you know and move into something else, as is European designing, as is flowers to wear, floral couture, and tropical nouveau. I mean, just think of how diverse you will be after you're done with this series. So thank you, guys. So awesome. Really looking forward to all of us working together. Thank you. And
you.
Thank you.
hope you join us.
Aloha.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Aloha.